Yo, what is going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to the fourth round of the 3v3 tournament that I've been covering the past week or so. And yeah, we have Swordsoul Tenny on the left versus Bystial Dragon Link on the right. Same Bystial Dragon Link player you guys saw in round one. If you want to see more of the deck, I'll leave a link to that match up in the top right. So we're going to see him lead with Chaos Space, discarding Serenir. Go ahead and search out the White Dragon. Serenir will dump a copy of Branded Regained as well. We're going to see him summon out the White Dragon by banishing the Serenir. Chainlink 1, Striker Dragon. Chainlink 2, White Dragon, Wyvernburster. Swordsoul is a deck that's been, like, kind of gaining a little bit of popularity lately, which is really cool. And the main reason I think that's happening is because the deck can and always has had the slight ability to actually main deck a card like D-Shifter, which, as we know, is probably single-handedly the best hand trap you could play against the Shizu Tearlament. And it can OTK out of nowhere, which is also really good, too. So we're going to see him continue to climb here, you know, going into Romulus after, well, before resolving the, after resolving the Graveyard effect of the Chaos Base. So we can get that chain block, that sweet, sweet chain block that Dragon Link is very, very accustomed to. Also searching out Dragon Ravine as well. The branded Bystial deck was actually something I was kind of looking into playing on the side. As something that's kind of like another somewhat meta-relevant deck, but isn't the absolute best deck of the format. I don't know. I always like to try and play some sort of like underdog deck. I don't know, that's just kind of like what I enjoy playing. Find there's a lot more room for innovation because a lot of times the best deck has so many eyes on it and is being played so much and you know, being improved upon, that the list gets solved very, very quickly, and there's very little room for innovation sometimes. But that deck did kind of catch my eye, so I do like seeing the Bystial cards in any matchup I get to commentate. So we're going to see him use the Ravine, pitching the White Dragon, and that was basically just free discard fodder to go ahead and dump a copy of Bystial Magnamut. Hopefully mine will arrive at some point. We're going to see him activate Quick Launch, go ahead and grab Striker Dragon effect, destroying the Ravine, to go ahead and summon out a Rocket. Also, I figured I'd mention to you guys that this Saturday, the 19th, I will not be attending locals to record feature matches because there was a huge, massive snowstorm where I live, and it's made travel basically virtually impossible and not safe. So our locals, I assume, is going to be canceled this week. At least for me anyways, as getting out of where I am is like kind of a no-go currently. But yeah, so I'm going to try to pace the uploads a little bit slower so they last until the following Saturday, where hopefully I can record more and get more content up for you guys. So I think I just saw a Delingerous Dragon, which is something I have not seen in Dragon Link for a very long time, so that's kind of cool to see. We're going to see him make Borrelend and Boral Savage Dragon. The Boral squad is certainly here. I also see a copy of Valor in hand as well, and the end phase search of Bystial Magnamut, well, off of Bystial Magnamut for the Bystial Druis Worm. So he has the Valor, the Druis Worm, the Boral Savage, and the Borrelend, and looks like another Quick Launch I think I saw in hand, so that's good follow-up there as well. Not to mention Borrelend kind of just creates follow-up by resolving its effect, so that's always nice. And we'll see if our Swordsoul player has the gusto to be able to crack the board. I do see an Imperm in the opening hand. I think that was an Imperm anyways. Yeah, I see Imperm, Taya, Ashina. Always good to see Swordsoul on the channel. And one of the spell card, I can't necessarily tell what it is. Looks like Emergence and Adhara. So Emergence, Adhara, Ashina, Taya. Okay, it was evenly matched. I thought it was Imperm. And Droplet, I thought that was Emergence. Okay, I'm blind, I guess. We're going to see him activate evenly. And I can only imagine that the Boral Savage is trying to negate, chain Droplet, send off evenly, and Taya. And it's going to go ahead and negate and have both the Boral Savage and the Borrelend. Since Borrelend can only not be targeted by monster effects. So obviously drop it doesn't target. Special summon out Ashina, link it for Monk. And then we're going to see Bystial Druid Worm, activate. Quick effect, since his opponent does control monster, you can banish the Ashina out of the graveyard. That one's going to hurt quite a bit. Normal summon another Taya effect. Banishing for cost, Chain Effect Veiler. That one's going to hurt quite a bit too. And honestly, I think that might just be the nail in the coffin. Borland is at like 1750, I think. Battle phase has also already been exhausted too, and that's kind of huge. It means that Borland is going to stick around, and it's going to be able to grab an extender out of the grave next turn when he uses effect to negate something. Obviously, bringing out a rocket could get access to Tracer, and I think we did see a quick launch in the hand already. I think that'll probably just end up being an OTK. You know, he could go for a route with like Shaman, but that's not really going to do anything there. Like, especially since the battle phase has already been exhausted. So we're just going to see him scoop it up there, and we're going into game 2. Quick shout out to Imperium Duelist, guys. Check them out at the link below. Don't forget to use my discount code WinnerKills10 off at checkout to save 10% off your entire order and support the channel in the process. And if you guys are buying anything on TCG Player, please do not forget to use my affiliate link found in the description of all my videos. Anytime you guys shop and check out using that link, a small bit of the revenue from your purchase will go right back into the channel and helps out a ton. Kind of like this Pot of Desires is helping out our Swordsoul player here. Drawing into some more extenders, hopefully some interruptions, maybe side deck cards. We're going to see him special out with shoot a link into Monk. And I think I see a DD Crow in hand alongside an Imperm. At least I want to say it's an Imperm. It looks like Anti-Spell Fragments, actually. Anti-Spell Droplet. Pretty solid cards to have here. Anti-Spell, tried and true Swordsoul card at this point. Honorary Swordsoul card, Anti-Spell. I would love to see Tenyi Vessel right now, but I just saying Tenyi Vessel, man. It just brings me back. It just takes me back. I do see a Taya in hand, so it looks like he'll commit the normal summon of Taya. DD Crow, Droplet, Anti-Spell, and one other card amongst that sped up hand shuffle. And maybe there's a response to the summon of the Taya here, unsure. I do see a Bystial card, though, for our Dragon Link player. It looks to be a copy of Druid Worm, so that could snipe the Vishuda out of the graveyard and put him on have a way to resolve it. Although he technically could, though. If he did shotgun it, he could still link Shaman. Shaman discard a card, bring back the Taya, and then Taya banish the Monk, and I think we're going to see the punish right here. Now, this is a little unfortunate, and he's also having to discard the Anti-Spell. But now he cannot, I believe, activate the effects of extra deck monsters except for Tenyi monsters. I believe that's how that works. So he will not be able to do Chi Xiao at this point. But I mean, I guess it's kind of pick your poison. It's either don't play or play slightly, right? And possibly still lose. Activate the effects of monsters, especially from the extra deck, except for Tenyi monsters. So he's going to go for Boxia. And he cannot do this because Boxia is, lo and behold, not a Tenyi monster. So, unfortunately, neither player catching this. I mean, his board was basically just going to be like either Chi Xiao pass or Berserker pass. But here we are. And we're going to see the Boxia illegally shuffle the Druid Worm back in the deck and the Taya illegally dump. Well, the Taya dump is not illegal, I should say. Taya dump is fine. You can still use the Taya dump. So we'll still get access to the Adhara in the graveyard. And we're going to see him go for a Synchro 9 for Boxia. Or Chow Fang, rather, the Chow Funky. And we're going to see him set 2 cards and hand it over to our Dragon Link player and see if he can't sauce on this board. Now, the Chow Fang pass board seems a little suspect here. I would really only expect an end board like this if maybe Blackout was hard drawn, because you get the pop 2, and that kind of removal is very good against Dragon Link. It always has been. And then you get the follow-up search of something like Incredible Ecclesia or Ash Blossom or Effect Veiler, whatever it may be, or Ghost Bell. But yeah, honestly, I think if he would have just gone for Berserker, maybe like low-key, or if going for Chi Xiao, low-key would have been just better. And that's fine, you know, he can go ahead and search out the Boot Sector. Can't use it anyways because of the Anti-Spell. We'll also see a Lightning Storm being turned off right now, too, because of the Anti-Spell. But he cannot activate the effects of light monsters. All the Bystial monsters are dark. All of the rockets are dark as well. He can still special summon White Dragon Wyvern Bursters. It's not an activated effect. And he can go into Romulus, but he cannot use the graveyard effect of Wyvern Burster. But he can still get access to Ravine, which unfortunately is another dead card here. I mean, honestly, the anti-spell is really just enough, I feel like, to carry this whole turn. We're just seeing him add dead card after dead card. It will be hell of a follow-up, of course, but they're just not useful right now to help break the actual board. And I think, again, it might have been better in hindsight to just make, you know, Berserker or Chi-Xiao. Also, guys, reminder, check out the Coldest Water at the link below. Don't forget to use my affiliate link as well if you want to support the channel. But what will the play be from here? Taking another read on the Chow Funky, which does actually have a couple secret effects. Well, one secret effect I feel like most people aren't aware of. When it destroys something by battle, it can actually summon a worm monster out of the deck that has the same attribute as the monster it destroyed. So if you run over Black Dragon, summon the Vishuda. If you run over White Dragon, summon out Ashina. If you run over an Earth, summon out Adhara, Water, Shithana, etc., etc. We're going to see him go into Nightmare Unicorn. And can take advantage of the Dead Lightning Storm in hand for being just free discard fodder at this point. And we're going to see him go ahead and turn off the anti-spell for now. So I guess the anti-spell really was never a threat. So again, maybe this is where if he would have ended on Chi-Xiao, he outs the only out to the anti-spell, which is Unicorn. And the anti-spell stays up, and he doesn't have much of a play there after just going -1 and trying to out the anti-spell. So I think, yeah, definitely a big misplay here from our Swordsoul player, but it happens, okay? It's locals. Even though I may still be a little disappointed in Mr. Top 16 here on the right, but hey, it is what it is. We'll let this one slide. We're seeing him activate Ravine, discard, dumping a copy of Absorouter. Absorouter effect, go ahead and search out the Rocket Tracer. And Boot Sector Launch, we know, still to be in the hand for our Bystial Dragon player. Discarding that Levianeer, also off the Dragon Ravine. See him activate Boot Sector effect. Go ahead and bring out the Rocket Tracer. And Rocket Tracer effect to go ahead and attempt to pop the Boot Sector. And again, the Chow Fang really getting no value here because some of the best cards in the Dragon Link arsenal are dark monsters. And he'll be dark locked after this, essentially turning the Chow Fang into a token. So he will be forced to use a droplet there, sending off a DD Crow to negate the Rocket Tracer, leaving him with pretty much no plays right now outside of, I guess, maybe Access Code. But then you kind of run the risk of like, okay, do I want to pop the Chow Fang? Do I want to clear the Chow Fang because they're just going to search off of it? I mean, is getting the 5,300 damage in worth it? I mean, I guess you put the game on a one-turn clock, but our Swordsoul player does have at least an Adhara engraved, which is definitely follow-up, and a Vishuda banished as well. Imagine if you could link for Hulk right now. Oh, that'd be disgusting, but we're going to see him just go for Access Code and pass. Which I think, honestly, you keep him off a free search, turn off the Tenyis, and make him lose their battle phase here like we're seeing him do. 2,800 into 53. Should be a total of 2,500 damage, dropping him down to 55. We'll activate the Graveyard effect of Chow Fang to go ahead and search a tuner. So going to go ahead and grab Incredible Ecclesia from the deck to the hand. Also live right now since the opponent still controls a monster. And we're going to go ahead and see him probably, special summon the Ashina first, because you can't normal summon the Ashina. See him link into Monk. Go ahead and special summon out a Vishuda with the Ashina, and then activate Adhara to go ahead and add back the Ashina, link off the Vishuda into a second Monk. Vishuda effect to return the access code. Normal summon Ecclesia, activate effect. Add Moe, or we'll summon Moe, Moe effect reveal. And this might just be game here. See him go ahead and reveal, get token, synchro into Boxia, chain link going to Boxia, chain link to Moe, shuffling back the Boot Sector, drawing one, activating the other effect of Boxia here, popping a Monk to bring back Taie, Taie effect, banish Monk to go ahead and summon token, synchro 8 into Chi-Xiao, chain link 1 Chi-Xiao, chain link 2 Taie, Now, there could be a line here. I was going to say, there maybe was a line at some point where he could have, like, not used Adhara yet, but he kind of needed to anyways. Let's say he could, like, banish Long in and get access that way. I'm going to see him search Blackout. I don't think that was game on board, but our, you know, Bystial Dragon Link player kind of seeing the writing on the wall there and just scooping it up. And moving into game 3. And we'll see our Bystial Dragon Link player opt to go first. I see Droll and Lockbird, Moyi, Ashina, Imperm, Desires in hand for our Swordsoul player. And unfortunately, our Bystial Dragon player not opening too solid here, having to set 2 and pass. Very, very unfortunate. And looks like a 6th card here for our Swordsoul player is going to be D-Shifter. Will be interesting to see how he decides to play out this with that newfound top deck. I don't know. Okay, it's evenly matched. I don't know why I keep thinking it's Imperm. It's evenly every time. I see him activate evenly, chain D-Shifter, which honestly seems a little overkill. I mean, I feel like with Moyi, Ashina, Desires, like, that's tough, man. That's a tough call. Because, you know, if you don't immediately use the shifter, then you kind of just lose out on the shifter completely. And it's just kind of a dead card. But, I mean, your opponent really didn't do anything, so do you really need the shifter? Especially when you have Moyi, Ashina, and Desires. I don't know. So we're going to see it all resolve. We're going to see him banish 1 face down, keep the other set, and then activate Desires, draw 2. And of course, Desires is banished, as well as the evenly. And I want to say it looks like he drew into another evenly. And looks like we're seeing him just set 1 and pass there. I mean, I guess this is fine. Shifter lasts 2 turns. You can, you know, stop your turn. But you also, at the same time, stop your opponent's turn, allowing them to basically just pass it back to you. But Bystial Magnamut is live, because D-Shifter, of course, is a dark. And I'll activate the on-field of Magnamut. And then swinging for 25, putting him down to 55. Can't do a whole lot, but at least he can establish a body and get an end-phase search for some follow-up. Which could also technically be a decent interruption here. If he chose to search the Druid's Worm, but he's going to go ahead and search a Starleash Safer. And I keep forgetting the Bystial Magnamut doesn't just search other Bystial dragons, it just searches any dragon, I believe, in the end phase, which is kind of insane. So I do see another shifter in hand, as well as an Ash Blossom for our Swordsoul player. Really not what you'd want to see right now. I mean, they are kind of good contingency plans. I mean, the shifter is... I mean, low-key, he could have just shifted again and passed and, like, set something, or just, like, summoned the Ashina, that 2800 defense, or 2600 defense, I think, and, like, put his opponent on out it, and then, like, skip another one of his turns, and then try to play next turn. We're going to see him activate Branded Beast, and that is going to tribute off the Magnum at his cost. Go ahead and pop the Ashina, and you know you're down bad when you have to normal summon Ash and Swordsoul to try to make a level 10, and then on Resolution, Serenir effect, banishing Ashina, and yeah, looking kind of rough here. It was like kind of a commanding lead for our Swordsoul player there. I think, honestly, maybe just shifter passing was not the move. I think definitely starting Moyi Summon Token and, you know, just activating Ashina from hand to, like, play around a Bystial card would have just been the play there. We're going to see him activate Eradicator Epidemic Virus, revealing Droll and Shifter in hand and hitting an Imperm and an evenly out of the hand, calling traps. Now that's going to hurt quite a bit. Means any blackouts that will be drawn are going to hit the graveyard, which is not a terrible thing. But, I mean, he probably figures he's on evenly and stuff like that, so calling traps might be a little bit more beneficial here. And now it is up to our Bystial branded player to try to sort it out with his teammates here on what is the most optimal way to kind of go about the situation they are in. Very favorable situation for them. Normal summon Safer, link 1 into Striker Dragon, most likely. Activate Striker Dragon effect. Go ahead and search out Boot Sector Lunch. And on Resolution, the known Droll and Lockbird will be used. So I imagine kind of took into account whatever plays they had and you know, figured they'd be getting drolled at some point, right? But that is probably one of the more valuable searches the deck needs, so getting it out of the way as the first search, I feel like is fine. You'll see him activate Boot Sector effect, summon out Rocket Tracer from hand, activate Rocket Tracer effect, targeting Striker Dragon, summoning out Rocket Recharger, which this card, for the love of God, needs a foil reprint. I don't even play Dragon Link, but that card needs a foil reprint. Synchro 8 for Boral Savage, equipping the Striker Dragon, boosting up to 35, swinging in over a 0 attack Ash Blossom, and he'll pass turn there. Top deck time for our Swordsoul player, revealing the hand there. Was that another Shifter drawn for turn? So double Shifter in hand, nothing in grave. Yeah, that's definitely GG's there, unfortunate. And yeah, we're going to see our Dragon Link take it there 2-1. Last but not least, a big shout out goes to our Divine level channel members who are Pony Start, Cadillacs84, Justino, HA Cyber, and Misfit. Thank you guys so much as always for your very kind and extremely generous support of this channel.